Hello, it's Danny Gamble. Been quite a while since I've done one of these throw 'em up videos, so here we go again. Um, what's happening in life these days? We're having a beautiful summer here in BC, Canada. It's been wonderful. I live in a little town called Steveston. It's part of Richmond, right by Vancouver Airport, and it's kind of a tourist area, and it's a fishing village. And so the weekends during the year are just packed, and then now that it's summer, pretty much any day can be packed when you go downtown. So I tend to avoid the crowds and ride the dikes and do that kind of stuff. And this place has a pool, so we meet friends down, well, neighbors down there, and have a pint and sit around and talk bullshit, all that. Um, So what's happening in the world? Well, I do a lot on the politics because it's been crazy in south of the border, our southern neighbors, USA, and looks like they might be getting heading in the right direction to settle down and get things right. And I know some people are going to doubt me on that because definitely MAGA, which is kind of a part of the GOP that's quite strong and has a lot of influence. And what's it? 2025. This plan they got um, for well, Trump's involved in it. And he's trying to deny it and take a step back. But even the people that are involved in it are saying, "Well, he's doing the right political thing. He's got to kind of get in there first, and implement it." So you know, it's almost fortunate. It is fortunate that it came to light prior to the election because they're doing sneaky stuff, and there's apparently a second part to this that they're also not talking about. But it's terrible stuff in that it just ruins democracy, and they call him dictator for day, or you know the new king kind of thing of America. Um, and we see all around the world how terrible that is. You got guys like his friend Putin. Trump and Putin are close, and if Trump gets back in, and I feel sorry for Ukraine. So that's terrible. There's a whole country that revolves, and NATO too. There's a whole country and NATO that revolves around whether America jumps totally right or stays somewhere in the middle. They haven't been totally left forever now. They recognize that totally left will never get the votes. Um, and then they got that I always say it wrong, but that college thing where they basically allow some states to have a higher percentage of influence on their country through Congress and Senates, and you know, than by population. So you know, one vote should be the same value as another vote, but it's not in America. Depends what state you're in. You got these very important states. Quite often, most of them are fairly small in population, and you get a big state like California that gets no more influence. Uh, you know, you get places like Washington where they're not even allowed to have any influence. They're not even allowed to have people because apparently years ago they decided, well, that's the government area, so we'll just keep them out of it. But what about all the people that live there? They basically have no voice, and they might help populate some of these smaller states that have maybe two senators because they call themselves North and South. So they get double the votes. And then they got their other thing where they gerrymander the maps. So it's like, well, we're in power, so we're going to make it the map so that the people that are against us, we'll just put them into one little, doesn't matter how far separated they are, we'll put them all into one group so they only get to one say. And then we'll make ours, even though it's less population than ours, than their one. We'll spread it out and we'll get 3 or 4 votes, and therefore we control our state government. You know, and it's gone. For years now, it's been going deeper. You got the government influencing and picking judges, and Supreme Court judges especially, and that one's terrible because I'm gonna sneeze here. 1 second. Sorry about this. Bright lights from the lights that I just turned on so that I can be seen. The yeah, the, Supreme Court, it's such a joke, and even the way they're doing the Constitution, you hear guys like Donald and his MAGA group screaming for the gun part of the Constitution, but not for the equal rights part of the Constitution. It's like, so you're gonna get rid of the Constitution, at least the parts you don't like, and keep the ones you want, maybe jack them up more. Like, it's amazing that you could be this far along and this out of control of the controls. Like they don't have set rules that seem to work fair for the majority. It's just, so there's this power struggle, 50% over here, 50% over here, and literally hating each other and extreme, Putin, take Ukraine and other places if you want, and don't take Ukraine, and Putin back off, and let these people live if they want to be free. Like, it's just like, and America just seems to be, will go both ways, and it's sad. I, I I I have an earlier tape where I said Biden, love the man. I think it's the words I used actually. I think it says love the man, but perhaps it's time he stepped down and enjoy his last remaining years, enjoy life, and on his way out, make sure that he damn well pardons his son, because that was totally political to go after him. And this, he should have this last 2 years with his son. A gun charge because he was a drug addict at the time, so he shouldn't have applied for it. And they're trying to put him away, put pressure on Biden, basically. It's not Biden Senior, Joe. And that's terrible. But wouldn't it goes to Congress, and they're bringing in people trying to impeach, a kid who's not part of government, who's had a tough life, right? He's lost a brother and a sister, and has his own drug issues, which he's always admitted to. It's not like he's denied it. So I don't know. I just pardon him. Don't worry about it. If people say, "Oh, you shouldn't have pardoned him," stop being that staunch on stuff for your own sake. You've earned it. You totally earned it, Mr. Biden. You've earned the right to spend your last years enjoying your company of your wife and your remaining child. I don't know if you have another child or not. I'm sorry, I don't know how many children you had, but and everyone else, do your 2 second one day blah blah blah. See, he did this. You're gonna do it no matter what. But then leave him alone, because he was a senator for all those years. And he was the vice president for 8 years, and then he was your president for 4 years. Give the guy a break. He's given enough to your country. Stop breaking him over the coals. And that's the other thing. Is like, both parties, stop being so harsh on each other. What the hell's going on? Okay, let's go a little bit over here. GOP, excuse me, not GOP, because, well, actually all GOP, the ones that are good people and want the best for the country and for their fellow man and the working class and all that. Fair taxes for all, and fair voting rights, where you don't make it so hard for someone to vote because he's not going to vote for your party. All that bullshit trickery that you guys are doing on each other. You guys, that group, you need to man up. And I see the last few days, I'm seeing signs that some of you are. So thank God. But God, it took you a long time to say, hey, this isn't what we represent. I mean, we're saying we're Christians, and then we're shitting on half the country because they're not voting our way. Like, that's not Christian. And we're allowing a lot of seediness to go on. And it is seedy. Your Matt Gaetz is seedy. Your Trump is seedy. Like, they're not good people. Their values suck. And you guys used to be the party of high values, and support of your police and your army and everything. And there's another thing. Trump doesn't really support your army, and that yet he'd be leading it. Like, that's ridiculous, right? And I'm not going to go into all the examples, but they're out there. I don't want to handicap a person that's been blown up and got parts and now is handicapped. I don't want them to make me look bad. It's raining. I don't want my hair to get wet, so I'm not going to go when I'm over in Europe to the gravesite that everyone else honors. that died, that the soldiers had passed while fighting for the country. So all those things are they're realities. And now they're going after the new guy. I don't know, can't remember his name. The new guy is going to be possibly he's running to be vice president with Kamala, and and you know here's a guy put in 24 years, has a senior ranking to Vance, and here's Vance trying to belittle him and bring him down. When the guy Vance is running with got a doctor's note for bone spurs in the foot, so he didn't have to go to the Vietnam War. Like, come on, America, come on, rednecks, come on. How many of you got family members that fought in the wars and died, or lost limbs, and or came back with PTSD? Come on, you don't need guys like that telling you. I mean, that's with his eyeshadow and telling people. And but he was over there. He was over there in a tent, air conditioning, doing reports. He didn't have a gun. He didn't go to the front line. He's got no more claim to being a superior soldier to this guy. Actually, he's got less. This guy's got a higher rank and put in more years. So, sometimes, and it's disgusting at that, because you were, part of that group of brothers, and you've deserted your brothers just for your political, hopefully, your political aspirations, hopefully for you. But, I don't actually think you'd be good for the country. And the way you go after women is ridiculous, right? And we talk about blind eyes too. That's his wife seems like a very beautiful. He's an East Indian, but Indian woman. I think she's Indian, but a very beautiful woman. Seems intelligent and all. But then he starts getting flack for it from his own party, from his MAGA group, because she's not a little white girl. Well, that's not right. I mean, it wouldn't matter if it was a white girl, but it shouldn't matter that she's Indian, or if she'd been black, or if she'd been Chinese. It shouldn't matter. You guys are so Neanderthal and all that, and hypocritical too. That's a perfect example. You scream all those white male bullshit, and then but you don't live, you don't walk the walk, you don't walk your talk. So I do see signs, thank God. It seems like it's made a huge difference that the people are getting someone else to vote for. And I do hope it's a total wipeout. The reason I hope it's a total wipeout is I really hope if it's a total wipeout, that'll be it. The MAGA experiment will be gone. The Project 2025 will be gone. That kind of crap that's going to put the whole world into a real ugly situation and just make the few rich richer and the rest of people more peasants. Like, I want America to have a strong middle class. I want Canada to have a strong middle class. Mexico to have a strong middle class. Like, I want this continent to be doing well. And therefore, more people live and have a good life, and their children have a good life. And what's wrong with that? It's basic. And I'll talk to some rednecks here. Like, there's parts of me that are redneck. Why not? Parts of it's a lot of fun. I mean, a tailgate beer party or a bonfire without white calls, but a bonfire, they're good. I'm not a hunter myself, but one of my brothers was a hunter, and he loved it. I don't think there has to be a one way, my way, or highway attitude out there. The new guy, he's his line, mind your own business. I mean, it was around when I was growing up. It's true. It's like, what goes on in someone's bedroom, if it's two consenting adults and they're both happy with where they're at, then stay the fuck out of it. It's not your business, right? You wouldn't want people invading your bedroom. So stop being so silly about basic human rights. And that goes for your banning of books and your the biggest one of all for most people is the abortion issue going. Like, why are you guys still fighting over telling a woman what to do with herself, with her own body? Why? allow them to hopefully make good decisions. But it's no different than you. Like, um, so some would say that you can't go shoot a deer. Ma'am, he didn't do anything to you. What's wrong with you? Like, like stay out of everyone's business. And there's no uh, more of a private matter than a woman who maybe gets impregnated and maybe wrongfully, like through a rape or something, or incest, and well, it could be rape, incest, and and her making the decision that she wants to have a life, or a child that's unfortunately they want children, but their body's rejecting the one that's in them, and it's maybe brain dead or something, and so the best thing to do is to remove it early so that the mother can recover and maybe have another child, which is what some of them want to do. They want to have kids, they want to have a family, and making them go to term and get sick before they're allowed to go in. And that's what it is in some of the states, or sneak away to another state. But even in that Project 2025, you guys are going to start charging them. Trump has actually said, "Oh well, there's got to be some sort of charge here. There's got to be something for the woman." Yeah, yeah, it's on tape, guys. Like, and I'm sure it's on tape too. So, like, if you go back to being sort of, like, you're still pro-American, well, that's your country. Why not? I can understand that, but not pro-white males. Like, and there's a lot of the ladies there. I'm pretty certain there's a lot of the ladies that like they're starting to leak out. Hey, ladies, just give your nod to your master husband. A lot of them are in these marriages where their religion means that he's supposed to be the head of the household, so he's telling them to vote a certain way, they're voting. But if it's not in the interest of yourself or your daughters or your nieces or your granddaughters, whatever, if it's not in the best interest of them, go in that booth. They don't get to come in there with you and tick the other box. Because by having a landslide win this time around, then hopefully they can address things like the Supreme Court being corrupt, totally corrupt, over $4 million for one guy. And everyone forgets that he was going to leave until they started to give him butter on his toast. He was going to leave. He was complaining and threatening. So then they realized, well, let's get in there and just buy the guy. He went from they don't pay us enough to, oh no, it's good, the pay's good. The reason he did that is that he was getting all the side stuff, and by doing that, the people that were actually not taking bribes, he was actually basically putting the thumb to them too, because now they're not taking bribes, so he's getting like $4 million worth of bribes, and they're just getting their wage, and he's like, ha ha ha, I don't want to raise it. I want to make their lives more comfortable. Mine's getting more comfortable because I'm crooked, I'm unbribable, and they're not. So they're going to have to suffer at the lower income that I would have walked away from if I hadn't gotten more. And it's like, ouch, like I think it should, by the way, should be equal. It shouldn't be like, well, there's 9, so no matter what, it's going to be 5-4 or more. And right now it's 6-3. Well, that's ridiculous. It's obviously they can violently go for their party, and they shouldn't be doing that, but they are. So I think it should be like 5-5 or something. It should be, and it should be mandatory. So, the people, as you lose one in your group, you get to replace in your group. So because you got 2 main parties, so at least that when it comes down to it, they know that they get end up with a lot of ties. So maybe they'll actually slant towards what's better for the majority of people. Maybe they'll do their job and rule according to laws and according to the masses. So if there's an 80% or 70% opinion, like there was the abortion issue, go that way instead of towards the 30, which is what it's done now. And rednecks again. I was talking about them for a second. A lot of fun. Come on, there's a lot of fun in there, but there's also you've lost a lot of lives. You've had a lot of your guys go to wars, and support them. You don't support them by voting in a guy that calls them suckers, right? No, you don't. Trump has been bad for your country. He's bad because he's just greedy for himself. He knows get out of jail free card is to win the presidency. And then on top of that, because you guys are helping him to get there, you guys are all going to make him give you ways of making more money and screwing more of the masses. That's what you do. I mean, if you're having the masses pay for all the taxes towards all your infrastructure and medicals and all that, and you guys are paying less and less percentage than you should, then that's where the money's coming from then. So the average Joe, the average um, construction worker is going to be paying more in taxes percentage-wise to their wages than you are. That's ridiculous. Even if you just made it equal, you guys already been doing that. You guys are like, Trump already gave $1 billion tax credits in his last term, and he's already announced he'll do it again. He's actually what was the one he did? So give me $1 billion. I think it was the car industry for not having, or the oil company, or the oil industry. Yeah, give me $1 billion, and then I'll get rid of some of these things that are good for the environment that cause you to not make as much as you could make. Might make it more difficult for you because there's laws, where you don't get to pollute a river, or someone's drinking water, or ruin their land and then not restore it, that kind of stuff. All right, so I'm going to stop here. Anyways, hello everyone. Today is can't see. Today is the 16th of August. I know, in July or August. Oh yeah, I don't even know what month I'm in. That's pretty bad, right? We are in August. Yeah, August 16th. And 2024, Danny Gamble. So America, keep on the path to getting back to being what the majority of the world would prefer, and instead of being this kind of corrupt, greedy, don't give a damn about anyone but the 0.1% that are able to influence so much of your country. And by the way, again, when you get back in power, if you have a white vote, clean that up. Just get it so people can vote, and that every vote counts, and has maybe get back to where just the popular vote is what carries the day, which is probably what it should be, right? What was it? 3 million that Clinton won by over Trump in popular, but she lost by a landslide because of the way it's rigged in your states. And then Biden, 7 million popular, he wins by, and he has just the same amount as Trump had over Clinton. Think about that. You got to have 7 million to get what's called a white vote by Trump, just to beat the GOP. Come on, how much is it slanted towards one party over the other? It shouldn't be that way. And all your court stuff where you guys have all these people that can just keep tying stuff up. If they have money, they have money. They have money. They don't go to jail. They don't go to jail. They don't go to jail. Everyone feels sorry for Trump. For God's sakes, the guy's done so much wrong. Like, he's creepy. I don't know how to describe it. He talks creepy. He does creepy stuff. And when he was in power, that's when Epstein died in prison. And Epstein had a lot of tapes and stuff. And then his Giselle, or however you say her name, the lady that was helping to provide him with the girls, she's running around for a while free, and then all of a sudden she's finally caught and convicted and stuff. Well, what do you think happened? She knew where the paperwork was, where the tapes were, and they needed to get that off her before they charged her. And that's probably what Epstein probably said. I don't want to be in jail. Get me out. I got stuff on you guys. That's probably when Trump kind of lost it too, by the way, because if he did order the hit, it's a hit. There's no way he died in prison. Oh, he just killed himself. He suddenly changed his mind, decided he was going to kill himself. No, he was probably tortured a little because they wanted to get the tapes off him. And then You know, they're 24/7 surveillance. If he was under suicidal watch, this he's able to kill himself anyways. Like, no. So probably Trump would have to be informed. Maybe he used to. Maybe he used the CIA, like they're professional killers, some of them, right? So maybe he ordered the hit. Now, what happens when a guy orders a hit, especially on someone who used to be a friend? He's already got an egotistical. So now all of a sudden he's killed someone, and then he killed that guy in Iraq, the Iran guy that was in Iraq. So like and the guy that was chopped and butchered up by the Saudi Arabians, and then he supported that guy that did that to him, to the reporter guy. So I think he's crossed the Rubicon. He crossed that line where he probably always, well, I don't know if he always, but probably had thoughts of, I'm in power, I get to do this shit. Will I do it? Won't I do it? And he's done it. He's done it maybe a few times now, and that's the guy you're going to trust that he won't continue to do it. No, I think him and some of the guys around him are all in now. They have to be because they probably going to go to jail if they don't, right? So once you're all in, then you don't care. You're going to do what you're going to do. And the Democrats, you need to accept that that's probably where they're at. Pretty certain that's where they're at, in my opinion, anyways. And that's where they're at. Well, if you got a guy with a baseball bat coming at you, you better pick up your own baseball bat because if he's not going to stop, then you either lay down and take it, or you fight for yourself and your group, your family, your kids, your way of life. And that's kind of what's happening, and luckily and actually, a little advice for you, Mr. Biden, before you go out for this election, call up your what do you always call them, reserves or whatever, your local group of people that practice army stuff that you could call them at some points. I think they're reserves, but probably an official name for them. You should have them out at all the polling stations. Matter of fact, you should have them not only out at the polling station, making sure that there's no um, mega rising. There's putting pressure on people doing their job to civil duty to help the election run. But they should be out there handing out water, handing out sandwiches. You just do that, and you did that in all your states. You got the power right now to do that. You organize that and get it ready and do it ahead of time so that it happens on the day. They're in trouble then. They can't stop it. So now the vote gets done properly, and it's probably away. When the other thing, by the way, when you vote on all these early ones, no longer wait till after midnight to count them, because that's all the GOP complains about. Oh, they're counting stuff after midnight. Make some sort of ruling. Do one of those ones yourself, where the president gets to do one, even if it's only temporary. We'll make it temporary for this election. And as they come in, they get both parties are there to look at what's voted on the ballot, in case it's for either party, and it's counted and registered. So on the actual voting days, just to be able to have them voted, all the early stuff's already been counted. Then they can't do anything about it. Then they can't try to play the game after midnight game, saying there's a dump and all this stuff, which is what they're lining up. So stop it. Prevent it from happening this time around. Make it, they're going to be counted early. Oh, we don't like that. We're going to protest. Well, protest it for the next election. But guess what? We're doing it for this one. I forget what those things are when the president writes his own little thing, and they don't stand up in time unless they get voted on by the Congress and Senate. But you can do it, so do it. Get that structure done. Get the reserves there on the voting day. Actually, have them there have a whole huge amount of them there on the people that's supposed to come in the January 6th time, right, where they're supposed to just count the ballots and confirm what was already voted on. They bring it and make sure the right ones come. Make sure they're screened. Anyone tries to pretend they're not there, they're immediately pulled aside, detain them for 24 hours, if nothing else. Say, well, you've got a problem here, so we're going to detain you for 24 hours. So, phone your lawyer, get them in here. 24 hours from now, if you can prove that you weren't doing this corrupt thing, release you and say we're sorry. It was 24 hours, but you were claiming to be someone you weren't, and this is a very important time in the country, and we don't want that kind of disruption causing the problems we've had in the past. And that'd be good. So now people are getting water, you're getting your early votes are already counted, and you're using in 2025 they're talking about using the whole army, the actual army, to enforce and jump on people they don't want to and throw them in jail, and they're going to throw out a whole bunch of civil service people that have earned their jobs. They've been doing it for years. They're going to throw them up and put in these MAGA guys. They don't even know how to do the job, but they're going to say that we're going to do whatever Trump tells us to. You need to. Everyone sees this as coming, but it's like the lemons running towards the cliff. No one's getting in front of them and telling them to turn around. There's a cliff coming up. You guys seem to be heading towards your own cliff at a very slow pace, like lava. The lava's coming, and it can't be stopped. It's going to burn everything down. So you just slowly stand there and wait till it gets close to your house, and then you go for a walk. It's probably preventable. It might not have been preventable if he was in charge, but that's why he said there won't probably be election again. He's going to rig it so there won't even be an election anymore. What are you going to do about it? He's got control of the army. He's got control of the judges. He's got control of the courts. You won't be able to do anything about it. It wasn't fair, and then they'll probably put you in jail for saying that. You'll be living in a country like Russia and China and Korea. It would be that kind of country where you speak out of turn, we just arrest you. Tiananmen Square all over again, all over America. All right. Love to all. Hope this planet and country gets better and smarter, and my children and grandchildren can grow up not have to look over their shoulders all the time. Take care. Bye.